Hi guys, it's Tammy here. I'm back to try this again. This is probably my second or third time of trying to get this out. I want to say that I'm with Mandy and G, and I am part of the 12 that Jesus called together. Jesus wants all of us to give a testimony of how he came into our lives. This is hard. Like I said, I've done this a few times, so I'm going to try this one more time. And it's just Jesus is basically showing me that how he's been in my life, throughout my life, through all my different scenarios and different things. Okay. Okay. All right. I grew up in a family that there's seven of us. There's five kids, yada yada. And I'm the fourth. I was raised in my mom raised us Catholic. My dad was from a different religion. He was Lutheran, and then his brother came back from California bringing the Mormonism to him, and dad wouldn't have anything to do with it, so dad never really attended much a lot of the stuff. He did go to service with us and such, and we was there for, because I had to go through catechism. And he was there for like the first communions and our confirmations and all that stuff. And, that's my beginning. I grew up raised out in the country, praise the Lord. Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. It was hard, but it was beautiful, and get to grow up in God's creation and not living in town where, I don't know. I was blessed as a child being able to grow up in that aspect, that area. My grandparents, they had a public riding stable. There was a lot of property there. There was horse trails. There was lakes. Well, lake. Well, I call it a lake, but they're ponds, big ponds. You know, Around all that stuff, just it was good. It was good growing up, but I felt left out. I don't know how to explain it. They never included me. I don't know how to explain it because I was number four. I wasn't the first daughter, and I wasn't the baby of the family, which is the other daughter. But just different things, it's pertinent. It's not pertinent, I should say. Just different experiences. And okay, I sought attention. I sought attention because I wanted to be noticed, which could be bad. It was, yeah. And I ended up I wasn't getting it at home. I wasn't receiving the attention that I was desiring from home. So I sought it elsewhere, and put it a long story short, I became pregnant at 16. I didn't marry the father at that time. We went our separate ways. I tried different things. I don't know how, not really different things. I dropped out of school. I tried to work, working as a waitress and all that stuff. And I did that for a while. I ended up meeting my second daughter's father at 18. No, I knew him from school, but at 18, we got married. I was pregnant. We got married. That lasted less than 2 years. I did a lot of teenage partying stuff, and I only felt able, I never felt, I couldn't open up with people. And the only way that I was able to open up is drinking alcohol or something, just to, how you get that fuzzy feeling where you're able to do stuff. Did that. Smoked pot. Yeah, at the age of 22, I was working at a bar. come across an old high school boyfriend, and ended up getting married. That lasted 3 months. There was no faith there. In the first marriage, there was no faith. There was no faith, and here I had been longing for God. I was longing for God, and I don't know. Okay, that marriage ended. The second marriage ended not even 3 months afterwards, because it was one heck of a craziness. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Fast forward just a little bit. I was in a car accident when I was 23. I was laid up for a couple years. And it was crazy. Jesus removed my spirit when I had the accident, because I don't remember one thing about the accident. Praise the Lord. He's wonderful. And you know what? He healed me. I was 23. So being younger, you can heal faster, but I shouldn't even be here. I shouldn't be here, let alone walking. I had a really bad head injury, and, a lot of people, a lot of people look down on me because of that, because my memory is kind of, I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know how to, but you know what? Jesus reached me. He reached me, and he's been through my life. He's been there. Okay. All right. After my accident, I started working in a factory, worked there for 5 years. Me and the girls were living with my mom and dad prior to this, in between all this stuff. We always go back to my mom and dad, so they got some of the country life too. So praise the Lord. Whew. Okay, ended up buying a trailer, got out of there, and get this, the address of the trailer was 7 Kings Row. Craziness. All right. Okay, ended up, after my car accident and stuff, I ended up, getting a trailer and stuff. I was working at a good job, making good money. Went in there for different intentions, but, turned around. Yeah, it didn't work out. But I ended up getting married to someone else, and ended up getting a settlement for my accident, and we built a house. I built a house on my property, family property, and it just, yeah, he ended up getting violent towards me, and was divorced after a couple years, and he was Jehovah Witness. So, totally different situation here. All right. And after my accident, I worked for a while, but then the factory ended up taking its toll on my body, so it was hard, and I couldn't work anymore. So I ended up going on Social Security, and you can only work so much and make so much an hour or a month, and it got crazy. I tried different things, different avenues. I went to school to be a esthetician, and I was hanging out with different girls, that I went to school with, and somebody had a brother, and ended up getting married. But like after my car accident, and after the toll of the factory and such, I was on a lot of pain medicine. Reality was not right. It was not right. That marriage ended. I was seeking a counselor about that, and I was having procedures done on my back periodically, and I was going in to have a procedure done, and I told them that I wanted to get off all medications. Because how it was messing with my reality. And they gave me the choice of going in, being weaned off of it over a course of several months, or going into the hospital and having it taken care of right then and there. I chose the hospital. I had no idea they would be putting me in the psychiatric ward. Talking about crazy. Oh my gosh. I was scared to death. I was scared to death. I was scared to death. And I was praying and praying. And they had a Bible in there. You know, I flipped it open. I was sitting there reading it. And I was praying to the Lord. And, you know, there was another person that was there for a different reason. And made me feel comfortable, made me feel good about myself. And after released, and got back out into the world after getting off all the medication and such, started dating that individual and dated for like a year. We got married. I wanted it to be right because I kept making the same mistakes over and over again, and I couldn't quite figure out what was going on and why, you know. I didn't want that. Okay. I did not want that. And you know, my girls being raised up at this time, and you know, just it's crazy. All right. And then after we had gotten married, a month later, he ends up totaling the truck that I had just bought for him, and broke his neck, and had a halo and all that stuff. Came back to the house. I had a hospital bed out in the front room for him, and he had access to where the pain medicine was, and I didn't realize that I didn't know it was going to get to be like that. And he ended up overdosing, and I ended up having to call the ambulance, and he went to the hospital and such, and it was craziness. And in the meantime, I was falling really behind on all my bills and everything, and I ended up having to auction off my house that I had built, and moved into a different town, and out of the country, which I love the country, but I was in town for 14 years. But needless to say, it got bad with that individual, and we separated and stuff, and he got really bad into drugs, and you know, he ended up going to prison, and we ended up getting divorced while he was in prison, and there's the end of that one there. And then, you know, because I was on Social Security, I got a ticket to work, and I was able to go to school, and I wanted to give back and help out people. And you know, so I went to school to be an occupational therapy assistant, because I received it when I was in my accident, or after, you know, I received that, and physical therapy and speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. And I wanted to be able to give back. I wanted to help people, you know, because I know other people deal with stuff, and they just needed to know another way to get through it. And that's why I got into it. That's why I got into that, and I did it for 12 years. You know, it was like like a year, almost a year and a half, 2 years after I had started being an OTA. I you know, was working down an hour and a half way down south from where I'm at, and my daughter Alicia, she told me that her dad wanted to take me out, and you know, I said, why me? You know, why? You know, why now? And he had cleaned up and gotten off drugs and all that stuff, and I said, okay, I'll go out with you. You know, I went out, and ended up getting married, and on the first year anniversary, Alicia rolled her van, and she had broken her arm and had to have this heart monitor on and all that stuff because they said she's passed out or something like that, and they were checking on her. Okay, and that was just maybe like a week, well, like a week before Thanksgiving. And I got to spend Thanksgiving with her, and not even 2 weeks later, she dies. And that's 17 years after my car accident. You know, the Lord helped me through it. The Lord helped me through it. The Lord helped me through it. Praise the Lord. Me and Alicia's father separated. We got divorced. And Anna was placed in my care like 7 years after Alicia had died. My granddaughter was placed in my care. I ended up adopting her, and it was really, really hard. I mean, she went through a hard life being raised, because she was only 18 months when my daughter died. So she was raised by her dad, which was not a very good thing. And I ended up, adopting her in 2019, and I was having lots of issues, and I was working as an occupational therapy assistant, and praise the Lord, he got me out of it in December of 2019, right before COVID hit, before that hit, and it started. I mean, I dabbled with different things. I sold life insurance for a couple years. I tried to I wanted to help people. My goal is to help people. I want to help people, and I thought that I was doing God's work, and I did that for a couple years, and I was doing good in it. But I didn't like how they were sitting there trying to get you to take this stuff out, or this or this or that, or it's going to happen, and basically forcing people into do it. And it's like, no. I mean, you're not really forcing them, but you try to, I don't know. It wasn't worth it. It was not worth it because it was not what I wanted to do. I was having trouble with Anna, and I asked my other daughter, Jade, to move in with me, and it was like a win-win situation because I live really close to GM factory. Jade just got a job there, and I was having issues with Anna, and she came and helped me, and that didn't last long. I mean, she lived with me until in 2022. But there's a lot of bad things coming at me. And she brought different people over here, and one of them told me that Jesus hates me. And oh my gosh, did that break my heart? Oh my goodness, did that break my heart? And you know what? I got it in my spirit that I need to start memorizing these scriptures, that I need to be able to start memorizing these scriptures to defend. So that's that part. All right. And then, I mean, okay. During this time, let's see, back in December of 2021, I got in my heart to buy myself a Christmas present, and it happened to be a puzzle, and putting the puzzle pieces together, and Jesus, oh my gosh. I mean, I was hearing from him through music. I was hearing from him putting that puzzle together, and I just started really recognizing Jesus, okay? Really recognizing Jesus at that time. And then January of 22, I got my first word from the Lord. And I mean, unbelievable. I was wide awake, and I just started getting this stuff, and oh my gosh. I mean, I can't tell you everything that was said in there because I was supposed to not say nothing. So, But oh my goodness, he showed me so much in the year of 2022 of how he has been in my life and how I had to go through certain things. How I had to go through these marriages and how I had to go through my accident, how I had to deal with the loss of my daughter, and he showed me so much. And I was looking and I was looking, trying to figure out where to go and what I should do, finding more information about the Lord. I was hungry. I was hungry for him. I was hungry for him. You know, Watching all these different people, oh, the rapture's going to happen here, it's going to happen here, and then it comes and it goes, and it's like my heart was getting broken. My heart was getting broken. And then he put Mandy in front of me. He put Mandy in front of me in January of 23. And I tell you what, I knew it was him speaking through her. I knew it was him speaking through her. And I just followed her from then on. I followed her from then on, praying to the Lord and all that stuff. And that's where I'm at today. And, I would not be here if it wasn't for Jesus. I am here because of Jesus. I am here because of Jesus. And I want to help him. I want to help him. And I want to help get this world the way it's supposed to be, because the way the world is now is whacked and nobody should live here. I mean, not, you know what I mean? But I get reminded of his beauty when I go out into the woods with my dogs and I see his beauty. It's everywhere. And he's blessed me with animals. He's blessed me with animals. They give me the unconditional love that I can only get from him. I get it through them, They have all my attention because they're God. They've got God's spirit in them, and it's just, And he has showed me so much. Okay, that's my testimony, and I'm sticking to it. I love the Lord. He is trying to reveal his truth to everybody. He's trying to reveal his truth to everybody. All right. Love you. Have a blessed day.